Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Sommer here to talk about the lesson molar mass. The goals of this lesson is to review your counting atoms and to calculate the molar mass for compounds. So if you remember, counting atoms, the subscripts, the lower little number to the right of the element it applies to, it tells you the number of atoms of that element in the molecule. So 3, 4, and 2. So that 3 is 3 calcium atoms, 4 is 4 oxygen atoms, and then the parentheses, it shows the polyatomic ion group. If a number is outside of the parentheses, that means that there are multiples of that polyatomic ion. So here, that 2 means that there are 2 PO4 groups. So in total, we're going to distribute that 2 to the P. So 2 times 1 is 2, and then distribute that to the oxygen, and we get 4 times 2 is 8. So in total, there are 3 calcium atoms, 2 phosphorus atoms, and 8 oxygen atoms. Real world comparison. So who has been to Menchie's yogurt? There you can pick your favorite flavors of frozen yogurt and add the desired toppings. Then you must weigh your frozen yogurt as its price per ounce. So here is you ordered 5 ounces of chocolate yogurt and 1 ounce of raspberry toppings. And then your friend ordered 6 ounces of vanilla yogurt and 2 ounces of chocolate chips. So up here's the price list. Chocolate yogurt was 51 cents per ounce. Vanilla yogurt was 45 cents per ounce. And each topping was an additional 80 cents per ounce. So here for you, you had 5 ounces of chocolate times the price of chocolate yogurt plus 1 ounce times the price of your toppings. This is how much you paid for your yogurt. Your friend, on the other hand, paid this much because they did 6 times 45 plus 2 times 80 because they had 2 ounces of their chocolate chips equals that amount. So in the end, you guys both have one dessert. So like 1 mole of a certain molecule. But the masses of each were different because they were made up of different items. Molar mass is the amount of an element the molar mass is the amount of 1 mole of an element or molecule weighs in grams. So here, 1 mole of water is equal to 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd molecules of water, as we discussed in the previous lesson, and that equals 18.02 grams of water. So we can calculate the molar mass, and what we can do is count the atoms. So for water, so like the number of ounces of yogurt topping, or like the price of ounces of yogurt or topping from the menu. So count the atoms. So we have hydrogen, which was 2, because there was 2 hydrogen atoms here, and 1 oxygen. Then multiply the number of atoms by the mass from the periodic table. So this is like that yogurt price from the menu. So we have hydrogen's atomic mass was 1.01, and I wrote, let me get rid of this, because I wanted you guys to only use the ones that have 2 decimal places. And then we've got, so multiply the number of atoms by the mass from the periodic table. So hydrogen's mass is 1.01, and there are 2 hydrogen atoms, so we have 2.02. Oxygen's atomic mass is 16.00, and there's 1 oxygen atom, so we have 16.00, and then add them together. So you're going to add both of them together. 2.02 plus 16.00 equals 18.02. Now, the units. This appears to be cut off. But the units, the molar mass is 18.02, but what are the units? So the definition says for molar mass says it's grams per 1 mole. So when we write our answer, it's grams per mole. So we would write it as, your units would be grams per mole. So to make our lives easier, these conversion factors, we'll write our conversion factors like this. 18.02 grams per 1 mole. Okay, so make sure that mass, that the bigger number stays with the grams when we're using our conversion factors, and then the 1 mole on the bottom when we're talking about molar mass. So let's try it. So what's the molar mass of K2Br? So for K2, we have, potassium, there are 2 potassium atoms times the potassium mass, which is 39.10 equals 78.2 grams per mole. And then for bromine, we have, there's one bromine atom, and bromine's atomic mass, so 1 times 79.90 equals 79.90. And then we add them together to get 157.30 grams per 1 mole as our answer. You try, what is the molar mass for calcium phosphide? So if we are going to do this, we've got calcium. There are 3 calcium atoms times the molar mass of calcium, which is 40.08. And then the molar mass of phosphorus, we've got 2 phosphorus atoms times the molar mass of phosphorus. And when we add those numbers together, we get 182.18 grams per 1 mole of, and then let me write my substance, which would be Ca3P2.